than he did then. But we are going into the second game very shortly. Jelizerg down 1 versus Bomber. And the next map is going to be on the most used map of the tournament so far, Metalopolis.
Interestingly, Metalopolis becoming more popular than Zelnaga Caverns. Players really loving the extreme ease of taking the third. And it looks like these players are so ready to start the game. I'm going to wish them the good luck, have fun, and good game. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for game 2 between these superstar Koreans. It is going to be July versus Bomber.
Let's get this rolling on Metalopolis. Can Bomber do it? Can he take this game, or will July be knocked out?
I will ask Apollo, what are your predictions for this match?
Ooh, I'm going to stick with what I predicted before the game even got underway, and I'm going to say that Bomber should be able to take this 2-0 and take home that bronze medal.
Yeah, I mean, I really genuinely think that Bomber is one of the strongest Terran players in the world. Jelizerg has a lot of great results, but doesn't have the phenomenal stability that Bomber has had in his career. I mean, the 4-2 against IM Nesty.
And they are fighting over a prize pool here. The difference between these two places now is 13,000 SEK compared to 25,000 SEK. They're almost double.
Definitely going to be a big win for these players if they can manage to overcome the opponent. I mean, even if this were just a show match, being able to say, I beat Bomber in a best-of-3 or I beat July in a best-of-3 is an incredible achievement. The Overlord now hatching for July, adding on those 3 drones. And we are seeing Bomber scout his main. Bomber looks like he is well aware that this is a cross-map situation.
Definitely, and most likely be seeing, well, I don't know, I think if he had scouted that Overlord, he most likely would have gone into that 2 barracks pressure style, but I'm not sure if he'll continue to do that cross map, as it will take a lot longer for those Marines to get over there, and we'll have to see, does Jelizerg feel confident enough, and it looks like he does, to go hatchery first here.
Oh, there's 1 barracks, there is 2. Bomber realizing if there is no chance of it being horizontal positions, if maybe my opponent is here, but more likely over here, I'm going to try to go for an early 2 racks. And July has been cheesed before, and he spots it. An incredible pick by July. How will Bomber respond? He is already down to 20 health on that SCV.
Yeah, definitely going to have to leave it. He might try to bring a Marine to then continue building it, but I guess the best decision really is to try and just go ahead and expand from here, and we'll have to see what that choice is going to be. And this SCV with only 5 HP is going to see that the hatchery has gone down now for Jelizerg here.
And it looks like Bomber weirdly trying to sneak around the edge. Looks like he might transition into a typical game, trying to just now keep these drones not mining as long as possible. Now, if he manages to leave this SCV here sneaked in the back of the base, I don't know if July ended up seeing it, likely did not. Bomber could do some serious damage by scouting very early. Bomber pulling back, doing a regular 1 racks expand that can be a little risky on this map.
And I love the fact that Bomber actually went ahead and cancelled the initial Marine, saved up money, got an expansion, and I think that's the correct reaction to this.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned before, is these both players here do play for StarTel in Korea, and that's most likely why Jelizerg did go ahead and scout that location, knowing that.
That's actually a great point. I mean, if you're playing against a teammate and can make those kinds of incredible predictions because, well, you stood behind him while he's playing and seen him do those sorts of cheeses, then that is a great way to go into this game with that perfect drone scout. And now July, not going to have to do that fragile opening he did last game. Instead, going to just calmly go for the early 2 queens. No need to worry about any pressure. I mean, that is one of the great benefits of a 14 gas, 14 pool play, is that you are so safe, but it means that you are much weaker in the mid game. Bomber now with 2 SCVs in both geysers.
And I'm actually so surprised that that SCV managed to stay alive. The 5 HP SCV that scouted the, well, he was building the barracks and went into the base, also survived all the way back to the main, which is incredible. And the 3rd base has gone down for Jelizerg, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another very fast tank and siege mode in defensive style for any form of aggression.
I cannot believe Bomber is making this just, fundamental mistake. Had 2 in both geysers, now finally putting those 3 in there. I mean, perhaps he is just going for some extremely thin timing. but more likely than not accidentally shift queued both of those SCVs back to mine minerals after building the refineries. We see July in the meantime going for the fast third. Will likely be throwing down the Roach Warren very soon, as that is the pretty much solve all for the early pressure attempts the Terran can throw out, and it looks like Bomber is going for a faster starport. Oh, I would love to see ultra fast drop play.
And I think that's exactly what's going to be coming here, Sean. We do have Stim being researched, and because Jelisek's opted to go to a third base now before Leia, and is also adding on a Roach Warren, that could very well hurt his game here. He's not going to have any Mutalisk out to try and deflect any of this, and that could be definitely what Bomber could use to clean out this series. Will Jelisek scout it though? Overlords are moving towards the back base of Bomber, but one Marine on patrol move to prevent that.
Oh man, this is a brilliant opening by Bomber. Going to transition into the drop play. I mean, we saw MMA do wonders with this. Generally, the way you deal with those drops is with having Mutalisks up. The one weakness of this early three racks, or excuse me, this early three hatchery play by July is absolutely going to be drops. I would not be surprised to see Bomber just dropping non-stop until the Spire is complete. He just has to make sure that his home is well defended enough.
Oh, he's adding on a Baneling nest as well before the lay. I'm sure he'll most definitely start to go for it soon, unless he's going for a very high economy kind of bust, but I don't think that's very viable here, especially as he's seen the tech lab on this barracks. Maybe he will. Adding on 4 more drones though, and there the layer has finally begun. But guess what? It's a little bit too late, as 2 medevacs, 4 of Marines are going to come. The one lifesaver for July is this Overlord is going to scout it in the south location.
Wow. I mean, this is going to be a huge danger at the front door. There's only 3 Marines. This is a very thin defense by Bomber. July now at 86, 88 food. We do see that he is starting to get a layer, starting to get a lot of Zerglings and Roaches, getting that +1 melee upgrade. Can July defend this drop enough and put a win on the table?
And one Stim Marine goes up to scout and will encounter a bunch of Zerglings. 2 Manivacs though are going to help out a lot against this.
Bomber with a miracle micro drawing those Zerglings away, and now it looks like July regretting that he didn't make more Roaches at the start, taking some serious damage. Bomber annihilates the Queen and is now target firing the hatch.
And if this hatch goes down, that is huge. Drones and Roaches coming in to help protect it. And it looks like more Marines are coming in as well.
Bomber making sure that he can do the killing blow at this bottom third. We see Marines rally down there. And oh, the Zerglings arrive at the last second to maybe pick it up, but Bomber's positioning is too good.
But it finally does get cleaned up. 3 Marines survive, and he will move out. Jelisek just about playing, but he's going to have to defend one more time. Picks them extra few Marines up, and it looks like these 3 guys would love to get inside that medevac.
Looks like these 2 Marines will get picked off at the front, though. Bomber using the opportunity to get up an early third command center. Though there was a lot of damage dealt, I mean, in the unit loss tab, look at this, double the losses for July. But keep in mind, having 6 geysers that early going to allow you to get a pretty big Mutalisk count. But July not getting Mutalisks yet.
Oh, it looks like he's going to play for a rather different style, going for these Banelings, Roach, and Lings. Maybe adding on an Infestation Pit soon. We'll have to see. No Mutalisk at all. And as we've talked about before, Sean, that is not the style you really want to play against Bomber. He will utilize drops against you so efficiently here.
And this is going to be bad news for July, losing a lot at the front. July looks like he has an answer, though. He is going to go for an early bust, but he's leading with the Banelings. Oh, the tank shots, easily cleaning them up, and they're even managing to pick them off without any damage. And again, in this unit loss tab, almost 3 times as many units lost for the Zerg.
And now this drop in the south location should be used. Bomber, a bit idle with it at the moment, but great defense there. And Jelizo don't really know what he was doing there, trying to bust through. Unfortunately, did not work, and it looks like we have the Spire going down now. Not Infestation Pit, so he is going to switch over to Mutalisk, and he has a lot of gas already starting to save up. Looks like he could get a large amount out very, very shortly.
If we look at the Overlord spread on the map, July has almost complete vision, but again, you cannot really do much without a Spire. So now Bomber marching around, picking off any isolated units, Zerglings at the watchtowers, Overlords spotting these drop paths, and it is still a 50% done Spire, so that means that for the time being, July is unable to deal with medevacs.
And, he's slowly, well, he's still got an idle third base here, just waiting to be a bit more secure. +1 weapons for the bio is not so far away from completion, And combat shields now just clean up. Looks like a push is going to be coming out here from Bomber with all these Marines and tanks. And what units does July have? He has a lot of Bailings. The question is, though, does he have Bailing speed? Yes, he does. And he should be able to defend against this. It's all going to depend about where these positions. Will Bomber make the same mistake he made against Moon and not siege in time?
And it looks like we do see Bomber starting to sprint forward, does siege the tanks, wants to get a little bit of distance. A Queen gonna get picked off. The gold will be forced to be canceled. Looks like July letting it take some damage. No, he does not want to lose that gold. He is gonna rush up. Lots of ground units for July, overrunning. Bomber does not nearly have enough, getting taken out at the third. No drops anywhere. No, there's the main. It looks like Bomber managing to get a good amount of damage down, but oh no, the entire force was killed off by July. Will he get the third? Well, he sees that the attempt is at the very least present. Bomber now put at a little bit of a defensive. There is almost done with the +2 Zergling attack, and the gold is up for July.
Great so far for July, and that one Zergling hero blocking that third base, which was meant to go up a long time ago as that push was being pushed through. And look at this, an idle medivac inside the base of July Zerg.
And we see July Zerg is supply blocked, making a lot of overlords, and guess what's going to happen when they're done? Well, the 2,000 minerals and 2,000 gas in the bank is going to be a big indicator. He can get 40 food worth of Mutalisks. In the main, we see only 2 turrets, and at the natural expansion, 0 turrets. Only way Bomber's going to be able to withstand this is with ridiculous amounts of aggression.
So what is he going to use all this money for? Money saved up. Is he going to build a bunch of Mutalisks? We're still waiting to see in the production tab, waiting until he can go all the way to 200 supply here. And it looks like it's going to be Roaches, not Mutalisks now.
Whoa!
Adds 15 Roaches.
Now that is an extremely unusual decision from July. We rarely ever see Zergs getting tons of Roaches in the late game. And look at this, an Infestation Pit. He may very well just rely on ground units that are mineral heavy to hold off these attacks, and then that way he can have far more Broodlords than Bomber can be prepared to deal with.
And there is a drop in the top right, on the top position of the map, just waiting until July Zerg moves out. And also in the middle of the map here on the left lane, we do have a Baneling borrowed here, and that is the location these Marines are heading for. So we're going to have to see, will he scan? He will definitely, most likely, scan here on the creep chambers, but will he scan before? Yes,
and there he does. He sees it. July Zerg will have to pull back. He rolls. Will he re-burrow? But the question is actually, does Bomber actually have enough? Oh. No need for burrow. The tank siege late. Oh, ripping through the first 2 tanks, taking out the next few as well. And now it is Roaches against Marines, and Bomber does not want to take that fight on. But Bomber, amazingly, going to continue the aggression, splitting up all the medevacs, going to go for the gold, going to go for the bottom right. What can July do?
There was a drop inside the main while that was going on from Bomber. Did kill a Queen and a few drones, but was cleaned up by Lings and a couple of Spine Crawlers. Didn't do so much damage, but now look at all these Roaches. The thing is, these Roaches have 0/0 upgrades at the moment. +1 Carapace is about to finish, though, will help out. We'll have to see how he can do this. Look at this, just marching right in.
July marches right in, gets 1 shot off, and takes a look at those siege tanks and backs away. He's very lucky that Bomber did not have those sieged up. Elsewise, he would be losing a ton of Roaches. July now near the max point. Does he have a hive yet? He does not. He has constructed the Infestation Pit, and just like Moon, once again, is going for that Ventral Sack. And July gets another medevac, 1 at the south position, doing some damage at the natural expansion, but most of the drones are staying alive.
Wow, multitasking at its finest here. Another drop. And it will get taken out, though, if he's not too careful. Mutalisks should be in close pursuit. They were dealing with the drop at the top, but now moving down to clean that out. And another push by Bomber. So resilient in this game.
Uh-oh, here comes a Baneling bomb. It looks like July's gold is under fire. The bottom right still getting harassed. But can July overrun this with Roaches? He's going to wait, and there he is. Getting in position. He has the Banelings more from behind. This is going to be a tense spot. If July wins this battle, he'll have enough Mutalisks to be able to repel most of the drops for the rest of the game.
And we've talked about this many times throughout this tournament. This is a key location for Terran to occupy if he is going to go for the gold. And he can get a lot of siege tanks up. And there are a lot of Marines. 2-1 Marines, by the way. And how is July going to try and engage this? And another drop at the south location here. Doing a lot of damage. Pull in all of July Zerg's out of position.
Oh, these roaches are doing a lot of damage, but they are on hold position. He does not want to get into a bad spot, losing too many. Bomber very carefully advancing forward with his siege tanks, and here it comes. The big push from July. Zerg Banelings getting annihilated, but July dropping Banelings from above, an uncommon tactic in this matchup, and it will be enough to repel Bomber.
And slowly pushing through this, a lot of roaches. 1-1 roaches will push through these Marines and tanks. A drop in the main though from Bomber is going to be put down here. A lot of links and spine crawlers in anticipation. He might even go straight down to that natural.
And it looks like the Hive finally now coming up. Oh, the drop going to the natural expansion in the unit counting station. 65 SCVs versus 65 drones. More Marines coming up. The macro of Bomber is incredible. 10 Marines at a time. This expansion is in a lot of trouble. The Roach Warren getting target fired, and the Roach Warren gets taken down. Bomber lifting back up, and with the relentless aggression, Bomber is going yet again for the gold. And oh, he needs to be careful though.
So we are going to see position on the gold here by Bomber. Queen is going to go down, and another 2 medivac drop inside the main base of Bomber, coming in relentless with these drops all the time. And now July Zerg trying to go into these siege tanks.
Losing a lot of Banelings to the siege tanks. Manages to clean it up, but can he manage to do the drop? Yes, he does pick off the drop in his main. The Hive is coming as well. 2 armor and 2 attack. We also see another medevac drop moving through to the south side. Bomber is all over the place and still seems to have enough to defend this Roach counterattack.
This is absolutely insane play by Bomber. Drops all over the place, doing another Queen goes down, and all these drones are going to go down. He picks them up and will relocate just south of the mineral line. Speedlings are going down to help defend this, but the key point is that Bomber did get that gold up, and that is crucial. And he's going to go ahead and expand behind as well. We have another command center in the making, but these Marines down here doing a lot of damage.
The siege tanks getting to that Kizel Naga watchtower yet again, meaning that July will not be able to make use of the gold. We see the Greater Spire going down, 9 roaches in production. July having to remake that Roach Warren, and there goes down the center hatch, and another drop. No, actually has nothing in it.
But yeah, the gold has gone down, and that is so important for Bomber right now. Excellent play. This is insane play by Bomber. And July Zerg going in again with 2-2 Speedlings. The Greater Spire not so far away from finishing though.
Oh, it looks like July, making a big mistake stepping into this line of tanks, trying to clear out the center gold area. But the units just keep going farther and farther back. July losing his entire ground army, just has to pray that he can get the Broodlords up in time.
And we are going to see another drop now, double medivac drop in the south location, and it does look like July understands what is going on, and he is going to pull out, but these 3-2 Marines now are doing a lot of damage. He's going to pick up though, and will he be able to do enough damage? No. And at the same time, a big doom drop day 9 coming to the main base of July Zerg.
Oh, 2 tanks, tons of Marines. We see all the Vikings up at the north position now, helping to clear off that attack path. And we do also see that there are 6 Broodlords in production, but it's too much!
Wow, July crumbling under the pressure.
Wow!
And Bomber
taking 3rd place. Congratulations to Bomber. A huge win today, taking out July Zerg, taking out OGS MC, but shockingly not able to cinch a win against Moon.
Wow, that's incredible. And actually looking at that game, and then reverting back to the Moon game, it looked like it was a different Bomber that game. That was incredible. Yeah. Multiple drops over and over and over again, and July Zerg just couldn't keep up with that. An absolutely incredible play there by Bomber.
Bomber only losing 1 big series this whole tournament, the semifinal match against Moon, 2-0 July afterwards. Huge congratulations to both July and Bomber for doing so well in this tournament, representing StarTale well.
Indeed, and little now, day 9, a little bit under 2 hours. We will be coming here live with Huck in the finals against
Moon. I cannot
rematch.
wait. It is a rematch. That is right. They faced off in their round robin group where Huck defeated Moon 2-0, and Huck against July looked nigh unstoppable. That is going to be very, very exciting to see. If Huck can win, keep in mind it is a best of 5 instead of a best of 3.
And it's incredible that Huck can even get into the top 3 It is usually, so far, what we've seen in international tournaments, always Koreans. But can Huck go one step further and take that gold medal?
That would be an absolute incredible win for Huck. In 2 hours' time, please join us back here at Day 9 TV at the Dreamhack Summer 2011 tournament. It will be on at 6:30 p.m. The grand finals between Huck from Team Liquid and We Made Fox's Moon. I'm Day 9.
And I'm D Apollo.
See ya in 2 hours.
The faster, lighter protection. ESET Nod 32 antivirus gives you less lag and more frag for your Windows, Mac or Linux computer.